I've got a question for you. What has been your most painful struggle that you've had to go or get over? How did you get over it? Did you get the support you needed? And how did that put you in a mental state? Like, this is gonna be a bit, yeah. This is
Yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah. No, no, okay. Struggle. Okay, so because it's all different. It's all different. So with the death, it was a struggle because I didn't know what to do. Right, with the girlfriend, that was just an emotional wreck where I remember before I had a car, I'd cycle to work, and I remember one day just cycling and just started crying while I was cycling, be, for no reason. I wasn't even thinking about it. I just started to cry. Right, it's different things. I don't know. It's hard. And again, like overcoming addictions and like not having dad and the kind of. So again, so there's obviously we haven't really spoken about this, but um, my dad has been in and out of my life. Never really felt like I missed a dad. Never felt like that was something that I missed out on because, like I said, my mum had to do both. She had to be that caring mother that I can come to and cuddle because I'm sad or whatever when I was a child, and also that person that sets the rules and boundaries and forces me to to kind of act like a man, I guess, because well that's just the way that's who I am, right? I'm a man, so I need to act in a certain way as well. Being a gentleman to women, always having the door open, stuff like that. Um,
I just want to. Oh, sorry, go on.
no, well, because the other thing that I've identified in my life that was a challenge, but it wasn't maybe not an emotional one. Addictions, bad addictions, yeah, addictions, 100%. I
Open up a bit with, if you don't mind, about addictions. Like, what do you mean? Like, addictions can be anything.
yeah, no. So I've felt I've had two addictions that I've struggled to the most in my life. Smoking weed, it's cliche, the least harmful drug yet. It is the one that takes over your life because you can't do any other drugs on a daily basis. But whereas if you do smoke weed, you do it almost on a daily basis. If you are, let's say a true weed smoker. So that's the most recent one. In the line with what we spoke actually again off cameras, semen retention. That is completely destroys your mind in terms of what real sex and what real intimate connection is.
Pornography.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I did both on a daily basis. Whether if even if I wasn't seeing my girl, I'd do it on days I didn't see her. Do you know what I mean? So there was no days off. Why? Again, truth. Because I didn't see anything wrong with it, and I didn't see anything wrong with both of those addictions for a very long time. It only hit. So it hit me New Year's. I haven't done either of those things from New Year's. And again, the goal I've set myself for this year, there's three things: no drugs, no alcohol, and semen retention for the whole year. That's the bare minimum that I've set myself because I've done a dry January before in my life. That was quite easy, and again, like I spoke at the beginning of the episode, making the impossible possible. And when I've told my friends, "Are you crazy? How are you gonna do that?" I'm just am. I'm just not gonna do any of those three things. I don't need to do any of those three things. They don't bring any. The thing is, they all those three things might bring you very quick dopamine hit.
Instant gratification.
Yeah, instant gratification, literally, right? Because like again, I'll smoke a spliff or a zoot, right? Take me about 15 minutes, right? That's it. No more fun after that. Yeah, I'll feel a bit high, and especially when you're doing it every single day, you don't get that high as you do when you're a child. Well, not a child. I mean a teenager. Yeah. Same with alcohol. Alcohol is only good on the night out. You wake up in the morning. You
The after effects.
yeah. Or how many times I've woken up and I feel my stomach like bad, and I'll just throw up again. Do you know what I mean?
Would you say you've tried other drugs that has kind of caught your fancy, where like you were doing it for a while? Because I don't know, because I don't know a lot about you. I don't know if you used to go raves, because like especially if you're a raver, number one number one rule of raver, you gotta at least drop some pills.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So well, I've tried a lot of drugs.
Yeah.
But most drugs I've tried only on multiple occasions, or even some of them once. The only drug that has caught my attention was weed. Thankfully, because other drugs just kind of
So you can say.
Yeah, I know. But I was doing really well. I didn't swear for the whole episode. That kind of damaged your body. So I've never felt that affection to them, or never wanted to do any other drugs.
None of them had a hold on your life.
No. Whereas weed took me by a storm straight away. I loved it from
I feel like it takes everybody by a storm. Like, it doesn't matter who you are.
No.
It's a.
And the thing is about weed is like, lots of guys who do smoke it know that it's keeping them locked in an environment and making them feel like they can, it doesn't really matter. They might not be doing well in their job, they may not be going to the gym, but as soon as you have a zoot, you spliff and you spark up, you just feel a bit apathetic to it. You're like, well, it's not
the end of the world. It's a day. Yeah.
So it's quite easy to see the dangers of that. But when did it wise up to you the dangers of porn and even weed as well? When did you know it became a problem?
Also, sorry, I was going to say also, how did it affect your mental health and emotional?
Okay. I can cover all those 3 points. So obviously the porn watching, that's a very, very long time, isn't it? Because let's be real, I probably did it first time when I was like 13, 14, right? Exploring the internet, whatnot. But it wasn't an addiction then, obviously, because it just wasn't, because I couldn't do it every night and whatnot. But definitely, again, it's when you have access to sex and you still decide to watch porn. You can't. The fact that I couldn't wait a day. Because the thing is, when I see my girl, it's usually a day off, right? I don't have that many days off without seeing her, so I could just not do it for a day and then see her tomorrow. And she's a very horny person, so I get to have sex almost every day, which is very nice. Thank you. But yeah, just the fact that I couldn't wait, basically, that's when it hit me that this is an addiction that I need to stop. And again, like I said earlier, it destroys your view of what intimate connection is.
You go there, mate. Sorry. So did you notice it was a problem while you were in a relationship? So when you weren't in a relationship and you just seeing other girls, were you still watching porn at that point? And did you not think it was a problem then?
See, at the time, no, because it's just again, all of those 2 addictions.
Yeah.
I look back on the last 3 years, so pretty much the start of lockdown. That's the moment that I kind of look from, because before I was, again, it's because so when I lived with my mum, it was more controlled. Not in terms I couldn't do it. No. In terms I don't know, because living with my mum, I had more control over myself, and I was just, I guess, kind of a better person. Yeah. But then when I moved out, I allowed myself.
Well, you got no restrictions.
That's the thing. Yeah, I've literally all doors open, basically, and that was the issue, because I couldn't. There was no discipline in my life, because even though I knew within myself that I had it, I just chose not to do it. I just chose myself to let everything go and do what I want to do. Just instant gratification, always be happy, constantly doing what I want to be doing. And that's where the weed smoking started on daily basis, and masturbation. So that's kind of the 3-year period that I look back on, that being the addiction period. And obviously I've had like times off from both, but it's always been a relapse of a situation for me, until, again, what's hit me, maybe the age, maybe a serious relationship, maybe the discipline that I've learned from all, like, because the thing is, I've done a few things in my life that show me to have discipline. So just before lockdown in March, February, I think it's March, I run a half marathon, something again that I didn't think I could do, but I trained twice a week. I used to run. I used to go on a short run and then a long run on the weekend, and it didn't matter to me if I was, hangover. I generally run hangover, things that I thought I never could. And then, but again, that was all whilst I lived with my mum. So the moment I moved out, the restrictions were gone. So I let myself go. I got to 108 kilos during lockdown. Obviously, a bit of muscle as well, but it was, majority of it was fat. And I don't know, you just wake up one day and you're just not happy with yourself. But I knew what I wanted out of myself, and also I knew how to get there. So it was just taking the action, really. It wasn't really a matter of what I should do and how I should do it. It was just a matter of doing it, because I allowed myself not to do it for such a long time.
What did it do to your confidence and your mental health and
what, those 2 addictions?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so with weed, insociable, right? Unsociable, sorry, not insociable. Unsociable, wrong English there. Unsociable. Just rather stay at home and smoke a zoot than go to any kind
Like
of
a social smoker, you never.
No, I would smoke with the people that smoke. I wouldn't want to smoke around the people that don't smoke. But I would rather stay with the people that smoke, and because, like I said to you guys earlier, that I believe for myself that I am both an extrovert and an introvert. Because I'm comfortable in both, and I can empathize with both kind of people, right? So I kind of see myself in the middle because I can be this and that. That's why weed smoking, or even the problem became when I started doing it by myself. I enjoyed it more by doing it by myself.
Really?
100%.
I felt more secluded and more. I feel like I was left to my own devices when I did it by myself.
But the thing is, so again, the problem that I had with weed was that I needed to smoke weed to be able to be happy with any activity that I do. So I'd say, let's say, again, I don't do this anymore because I just don't have time. I've changed my life to a point where I don't need to be doing things like that. But when I used to play, let's say, play Red Dead Redemption, right? Smoking a zoo and playing that, amazing. Absolutely amazing. But if I didn't have a zoo, I wouldn't find any enjoyment into actually doing it, or even watching a series, or even going to the cinema, or going ice skating, or having anything.
Well, that's okay. Oh, that's the danger of it, isn't it? It
rely
affects
on
your reward system to the point where you can't find joy doing normal things anymore.
No.
Like you can't find joy eating, you can't find joy waking up seeing a sunrise unless you're smoking.
Yeah, the thing is, anything that seems enjoyable, or because the thing is, those things are enjoyable on their own. It's just that I associate smoking weed with those enjoyable things. So it wasn't actually the weed
You
that.
would be that unless you were smoking weed.
Yeah, that was the problem.
Go on.
Sorry, so sorry, what was the initial question as well? Because you said what those two addictions.
Yeah, so I was saying, what did they do to your confidence, and what did
Okay.
they do to your mentality, your
I
mental?
know how to deal with it.
Yeah. Okay. So so that was the weed. That's what did to my confidence in terms of just being unsociable and just not wanting to kind of interact with people. But then obviously, as you can see here, I've been speaking for God knows how long now, and it's not a problem to me to interact with people. And obviously, when me and Luke got here, we were speaking the whole time as well. So it's not an issue. But if, let's say, I smoked it before, I'd be sitting in silence with you. Do you know what I mean? I would rather sit in silence than speak to you guys. So that's what weed caused for me. And then porn, sex, 100%. Just being scared of not getting up, 100%. Because so used to you're in touch and what you need to see on a screen, on some fucking some pixels that get you hard. Digital cheats, bro. Honestly, horrible. So then when you see an actual female body naked, it doesn't get you aroused, doesn't get you going. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah. So and then the thing is, if it's an understanding girl, she'd be like, it's okay, it's the nerves, whatever. Fine. The thing is, partly might be the nerves as well, but also because, well, it's, again, like I say, it has happened to me before where the first time comes to with a girl and it just doesn't go up, right? And even with my girlfriend right now, I had to tell her the first time that it might not go up. So just trial and error, really. The more you try it, you're more likely to get out. But yeah, again, because the thing is, if you stop doing it, you are naturally more horny, right? So there's not gonna be an issue of getting it up. So confidence with girls. Do you know what I mean? I'd be scared to take a girl back home or even talk to a girl and have that first time, knowing that I had masturbated that morning or the day before, because I'm not gonna get up now. Do you know what I mean? But if you don't masturbate for 3-4 days, you're almost guaranteed to get it up when you see a girl naked. So
Do with everything you've been through and the good and bad and all that stuff. It's like, would you say to date the problems? No, I don't want to call it problems. The
issues, no, I know what you're trying to say though. The hardships.
Yeah, the hardships. Has it changed the way you view the world? Has it changed the things that you do? Because for me, last year, like I think the last time that we were talking, the melanin, I think.
Yeah, the melanin, the meal.
Like,
yeah.
I'm very open about the sexual stuff that I do. Like I like going to sex parties, like going doing seeing some crazy shit, doing some crazy shit.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's like seeing interacting with some really intelligent people, like the sex party that I go to, like
Yeah.
if if I didn't go through that hard times, I would have never got into kink parties, like sex parties, me like trying loads of crazy things, putting myself in uncomfortable situations to see how I react, to see how I view the world, and see how other people view the world.
Yeah.
Like, did that change the way you do things?
Yeah, no, I get the question, and 100%, yeah, because the last 3 years, obviously, there's been things that I have tried, but mostly, maybe, obviously, it's still my choice. I don't want to say it wasn't my choice, but with a little bit of a push of other people. Whereas now, having stopped those three things with alcohol, if you want to include my New Year resolution, stopping all those three things, I've chosen myself to get out of my comfort zone. So one thing that I've, for example, done it's only very recent, literally the last 2 weeks. Mondays and Wednesdays, I go to a boxing class to get my fitness back after having smoked for so many years, to get my lungs to work better. And also, I've never ever done any combat sport in my life. Never been punched, never punched anyone. So just learn the basic and the foundation of boxing, how to throw a punch. Yeah, it's so out of my comfort zone. Again, doing this, do you know what I mean? I'm the one who reached out to you.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
You did.
Like it's because again, it's ability for me to express myself, right, on the podcast that you two guys have, and of course I'm friends with you two as well, which makes it a lot easier. But do it. Go back 2 months, I wouldn't. Well, 3 months, I would have never done it.
Why is that?
Because I would have been too comfortable. Comfort kills ambition.
On
Just chilling at home, smoking weed and eating.
No motivation.
There was no motivation, yeah. And the thing is, like, I used to skip some gym days sometimes because I was like, I'd rather stay at home with my missus and just smoke a zoo. Do you know what I mean? And whereas now I'd rather be, because the thing is, again, I've got a lot more time to do things now because I'm not wasting time smoking weed or watching porn. So now I fill out my days doing things, being active. Like, we actually go on dates. We've never been on a date for the last 6 months until just literally January. Wow. And that was my choice. Do you know what I mean? And I want to do that, and then it actually makes it more enjoyable. Generally makes it time that we spend together much more worth it.
So for the people who are either listening to the podcast or watching at home or wherever the hell they're watching it, what would you say is the 3 things that improved you as a person? 3 things that enhanced your ability to live and to bring out the best.
That's a very good question.
That's a very good question. I've got 2 straight away that popped into my head that have improved my life. Okay, I'll have 3. I'll have 3. Number 1, physically fit. That's very important in terms of just, the thing is, if you, again, you don't have to be physically strong. I'm not telling everyone to go to a gym and lift heavy weights and have big muscles. That's not a necessity. What is a necessity is having a healthy body. Because if you haven't got a healthy body, your mind isn't going to be healthy. That's the one thing, right? And if you can't physically be active, you can't run, you can't enjoy things as well. So that's number 1 thing. You have to be physically fit, right? Don't be overweight, eat well, and just take care of your body, because if your body's in a good condition, you'll be in good condition. That's one thing. Evaluate everything that you do in life. Every hardship and everything everything good that's happened in your life, evaluate why it happened, how it happened, and how did you make it happen. Because taking accountability for things that happen in your life is very important, right? That's for the mental side of your life, I guess, to be able to see why you felt like that, what made you feel like that, and how you've dealt with it, right? That's the second thing. And the last one is read more books, just educate yourself. Just you again, and listen to people listen more, speak less, because there's a lot of smart people, and especially if you surround yourself around smart people, you can learn a lot, because you'll never be the smartest person in the room. 100%. And that's where the value comes from. So again, I think a lot of kids these days have an issue with listening to elders. Even so what I do, even though I'm not that old, I'm I'm still very young. Let's be real, right? But if I see like an 18-year-old at a gym doing something wrong, and I know it's gonna affect his body if he continues to do it in that way, especially like deadlifts or like squats and stuff like that, where he can generally do damage to his back, I'll go up to them and tell them like, okay, like your form's wrong, and I'll show them how to do it properly. And again, but it's their choice whether they listen to me or not. And I think a lot of young kids these days are too far up their own arse to actually see that someone's trying to help them. Yeah. I'm not. The thing is, again, I know I'm a bit bigger than a normal average person, but I'm not trying to be cocky and show off that look at me, I'm big. I'm generally, because the thing is, I didn't get this big because I just lifted weights improperly. I did it because I knew what I was doing and I ate properly. So the thing is, again, I've had kids come up to me as well and ask me. Do you know what I mean? So it goes both ways. Sometimes they want to know something from you because they can appreciate the fact that you know more than them, but it's not all kids. So I think those would be the three things: speak less, listen more. I already forgot what I said. I'm not like
Speak less, listen more.
Fitness,
really
educate yourself. Fit, that's very important. And evaluate your life. Evaluate everything that happens to you, why it happens, and how you deal with it, because that's very important. Because again, if that similar situation happens again, you know how you've done it already, so you can use that as a tool to, fight it again. Yeah, that's very important, because then you don't have to question it and struggle with it. You know how to deal with that issue, that hardship that comes at you. Because again, so like, for example, obviously everyone's gonna die. So now I've dealt with death a few times. I know it's gonna make me sad, but it doesn't make me sad to the point where I'm stop living my own life. For me, I do it the way that I'm living for that person now. I am the person that remembers them, so I have to live for them. Yeah. It makes me probably stronger, I'd say.
It does. I feel like it puts you ahead. It sounds really weird, but it puts you ahead of the game.
Yeah.
Because where for even people who are 30 and like they experience death for the first time, it can shatter their whole life.
Yeah.
It can like when I experienced death, and in my 20s. It almost broke me. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, especially from a young age, being able to deal with that, having the strength to move past it, and also having the strength to keep going, to make your life worth living, creating something not just for yourself but also for your friend, something that you both are proud of, and something that if you look back, when you look back one day, you're like, I'm glad I did this.
Yeah, and I'm proud of the fact that I did that. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Because the thing is, it's people are scared of doing things, but I'd rather regret doing something than not doing it. 100%. Because at least I tried it now. Yeah. At least I tried it, and I know that that didn't work out the way it should have been, and whatever. But at least I did it. At least I tried it. So yeah.
And for the people who are again listening or watching, take notes. Like this is something that could inspire and create a better you. Regardless of the way you are in life, whether you think you're already mentally there or you're not mentally there, try it out. The only thing that you would have wasted is time, and like this time that maybe you would have put into it, it could have improved your life. So life's about chances and trying things. You never know till you try it, and so yeah, and we're glad that you listened. We're gonna do a little wrap up, and definitely, sooner rather than later, we'll get you back on here so that after we can get.
It was a pleasure, Maciej.
Yeah, we can pick your brains.
Boys, thank you very much. I generally really enjoyed that. It was a very good conversation, and I enjoyed sharing certain parts of my life, and hopefully inspiring the youth and helping other men in their own struggles, because we all go through the same things.
Indeed, we're all a community.
We do.
So hopefully this is not. I don't know why I keep saying hopefully. This is definitely not the first or last time we're going to see you here, because we will be seeing you very soon in the future. Yep. And yeah, guys, again, as I always say, like right here or somewhere, subscribe, comment, and also follow us on Instagram and Twitter.
And TikTok.
Exactly, and TikTok, because we're going to get our man. Yeah, we're going to get our man to sort us out. So guys, don't forget, Between the Blades, we're coming, yeah? Podcast that's coming for all the youth and all the grown-ass men, yeah? men's mental health. We're coming for you. So take care from Winfred.
From Luke.
And from
Magic.
See you later from Between the Blades.